Hello everybody, I am back from my week-long hiatus as I will just kind of be going through what we missed in the week that I had off. Obviously you guys probably didn't miss the news because again, you guys focus on the NHL world outside of me. We're just going to be recapping what happened in this week. So before we start, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or the channel. That being said, let's get on into it. So the first thing that I really wanted to talk about was the Buffalo Sabres and the fact that they ended up making two big signings, or extensions I should say, in this week off. They ended up extending Rasmus Dahlin and then Owen Power. So Dahlin's extension is 8 years, something like $11 million a season, something like that up there. And then Power's extension is 7 years, almost $60 million. Power is not even 21 yet. I think I was watching the part of the Rangers-Buffalo game, first period, before I recorded these. So you're obviously taking big risks in the sense of signing these guys, but we have seen in recent memories what the Sabres have been trying to achieve. They've been trying to lock up a lot of these younger guys for the future. I mean, theoretically, let's just say that they do end up being good in that span. You've got the talent locked up for more than 5 years. That's great. And the thing is too, with the cap rising probably every year, you're looking at the cap hit and saying, oh, we can make moves maybe other teams couldn't do because we ended up signing these guys to the deals. Now I will say, looking at the Dahlin extension, it's a lot of money. However, I will also say with that, he had a career high for goals, assists, points. Ended up having 73 points, which was 5th among defensemen last season. Is a player the past 2 years especially, I think, is looking more and more like that first overall pick that we were excited for. The shortened season where there was like 56 games and you had to play within your division that year, that was the skies falling. Is Rasmus Dahlin going to develop into what we're wanting him to be? And now with Don Granato and things looking how they have been since last season, especially, and again over these past 2 years, the Sabres kind of turning things around, especially last season, you're probably looking at this and saying Dahlin could theoretically turn into a Norris contender. Is he going to finish with some points totals that some other guys will? Tough to say. I do think goal scoring could be something that holds him back a little bit, but he's coming off of a 15-goal season, had 13 goals prior to that, had never hit double digits until 2 seasons ago, back-to-back double-digit seasons for goals, and again, 73 points, not too shabby for a defenseman that's going to be your top-pairing guy. Power is a young player as well, top pick for them, and is someone that, while he probably is looking at this and saying, or you're looking at this and saying, he's got 35 points, what's the deal with getting him the extension? He looked good, a lot of good underlying numbers. A lot of people that I trust ended up putting out a lot of stuff that I say, okay, that's good. Maybe the points didn't look that dazzling, but if he's able to kind of get back to their rookie year with some of the shot selection that he had and his goals increase with the assist, you're again looking at a great guy. A lot of this top 4 for Buffalo in terms of their decor is looking like it's figured out. They got the extension with Samuelson. That's like a really long deal as well. So multiple things going well for keeping youth and keeping talent for the Sabres. Is it a risk for these guys? Again, with Power probably a little bit more so than Dahlin. Will Dahlin be worth that money? Remains to be seen, but a very interesting and fun week, I think, for Sabres fans, as this season looks to be probably their most exciting season in over a decade. And then the second talking point is the Jets end up handing out 2 big deals. That is, of course, is Scheifele and Hellebuyck. This was big because the Jets were one of those teams I especially looked at and said, I really think they could be headed in a way that doesn't look too good. A lot of UFAs that were older, and the team underperformed a little bit over the past few years, or at least hasn't been able to do a whole lot when they make the playoffs, if they make the playoffs. And so you're thinking maybe a rebuild is on the horizon. Scheifele and Hellebuyck end up kind of pushing that back. I don't really know what is going to happen here with this team. They could outperform. I still feel like for myself, I look at them as a fringe playoff team, depending on what Hellebuyck can do. Maybe he gets in the top 3 in their division. 3rd probably would be the best that they could finish within their division. But with this, you're looking at a great win for Winnipeg. Again, kind of like Buffalo. You're looking at these markets and saying that this is not those traditional markets where you would be really thrilled to go to. This is not your New York, your Chicago, your LA, whatever the case may be. So the reputation, especially with being in Manitoba, I think is, I don't want to be here. And we saw that with Pierre-Luc Dubois, whatever the reasons were there. But with Scheifele being the first pick, I think when they relocated to Winnipeg, that's a big deal, coming off of a career high 42-goal season. Yeah, that's a career high for him, I think. It's kind of one of those deals where he's been there in a mainstay for basically a decade. 2013-14 season is when he became a regular. Him leaving would have really, really hurt. Him staying is good. As for Hellebuyck, been a workhorse for them. Been a guy that you can throw out there in net for 60-plus games or more. Up there with Jussi Saros for the workhorse role in the NHL, and had some really, really good seasons in the Vezina caliber conversation year in and year out. Maybe has a off year from time to time, but in general, just a guy that is going to be able to go out there and be worth every penny you would give him. Assuming things go well here, you're looking at Scheifele continuing his offensive production, and then you're looking at Hellebuyck being that mainstay in net, where you really don't have to worry about finding, a young goalie to kind of fill in the ranks right away. This one is more concerning to me than the Buffalo extensions, though. Again, Winnipeg, kind of where they're at, where they've kind of gone a little bit farther down each year in terms of how dangerous I feel that they still are. And then, of course, with the age factor, both of these guys are over 30. How good are they going to be when they are 35 years old remains to be seen. Do the Jets really care about that right now? Probably not. They probably care about how the first 2 or 3 years go with this, because with Winnipeg being a team that hasn't been awful for a little bit, they probably wanted to keep things rolling. So, I kind of get the mindset here. I just wish the deals were a little bit shorter, and I'm going to be honest, younger me at the start of this channel would have said, oh, they're Jets for life. But the reality is, I think very well could see both of them possibly traded by the end of this, just because there are a lot of guys that I felt like were going to be lifers for their team, and it's just one of those deals. Business is business. We'll see, but I really am hoping that maybe they can't stay with Winnipeg for the rest of their careers. And then before my final thing, I was going to add that Lindy Ruff ended up getting an extension. Good for him. Obviously, the Devils were really excited with what happened last year. He was set to have his deal expire after this season. So, assuming that he would have had another good year, who knows how things would have been going there. So, good for the Devils. Now on to the final talking point, where Connor Bedard, if you didn't know, made his debut. I didn't put both of the stats here for his first 2 games played, but I did have some takeaways. I was able to watch the first half of the first game. Ended up looking pretty good in that game. Ended up leading for, rush attempts, I believe, in here, or breakaways. I think he had 3 in this one out of all skaters for Pittsburgh or Chicago. I almost said Boston there. That's because he played Boston in his second game. And in his first 2 games, a assist and a goal. 11 shots attempted in that first game, 5 on net. Just all around looking at this and saying this is a pretty good start to his career. 2 games played, 2 points, on pace for an 82-point season. Point per game player, played over 21 minutes a night. I will say the major drawback, I guess, if you want to poke and prod at this a little bit, is in his first game. Again, I wasn't able to check the stats from the second game, aside from the fact that I watched his first goal, was the fact that he went 1 from 11 or 1-4-11 from the draw. So 1 face-off win to 10, I almost said 11, to 10 losses. So that is not going to fly, and it's all right, though. Younger guys obviously tend to struggle there, and if he really struggles, they'll probably just, not have him take face-offs if he's not able to win them. But again, with Chicago kind of being in the state that they're in right now, are they really going to say, oh, we're going to stunt your development, or we're going to take away opportunities like that from you because whatever reason? It just wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, because this team is not really built to contend right now. But again, looking at this and seeing Bedard play, yes, there's been some learning moments, absolutely, but if you have an 82-point season from him his rookie year, and he is having the season where he could fire, top 10 for shots attempts, that'd be crazy, that'd be good, and all around just looking like a good pick for it. The Hawks started out easy, first 2 games, 2 points, hoping that things can continue on from there, and probably will be the Calder favorite, is the Calder favorite, and if things continue to go this way, will win the Calder and be one of the high points for the Hawks this season. So that is just some stuff that we missed in the week. I really wanted to do videos on this stuff, crazy week, but I said, You know, there's always stuff going on, and if I fold now, I'm just always going to do stuff, which is no big deal. I was looking forward to getting back, and of course, glad to see all this big news. Sabre is making some big extensions for the future, so are the Jets. The Devils, of course, getting their head coach to stick around a little bit longer, and Bedard making his debut. But what were your thoughts from this past week in the NHL with a lot of stuff happening? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. And you go love hockey, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.